Hello again. This week, we'll talk about photographs as they relate to writing for the media. Taking images is part of a journalist's job. Gone are the days when a writer worked with a photographer. These days, if you're a journalist, you're also taking pictures to accompany your stories. So let's talk about some simple but useful concepts when taking photos. The first thing you should know is that you don't need $1,000 worth of equipment to be an effective photographer. Your job might be a little easier, and you can take better photos with that type of equipment, but you can still take perfectly effective pictures with a small DSLR or even high-end smartphone. That said, one of the most important concepts is composition. This is the layout of things within your viewfinder. The most used trick for good composition is called the rule of thirds. The concept is simple. You take whatever the shape of your viewfinder is and imagine a tic-tac-toe board over it. Where the lines cross the page is where you should put your most important or interesting areas of the screen. For instance, when we look at people, we tend to look at eyes. Thus, you'll want to arrange your screen so that the eyes cross one of the dividing lines of the tic-tac-toe board. Some fancy cameras even make the rule of thirds an option within your viewfinder so that you can see it as you're taking photos. But even if you can't actually see it, you can still imagine it, and it will help you create more pleasing photographs. When you're on assignment, not only are you collecting information to write a story, but you're also collecting visuals to support it. If you're shooting photos, you'll shoot a lot of them. It's not uncommon at all to shoot several hundred pictures for an assignment. Ultimately, only one or two of these, the very best you've shot, will be published. There are three basic types of shots that you'll want to capture for any story. Which ones you choose to publish will be decided upon later, but you'll want to have at least one of each available to you. The first is the long-range shot, which we typically call either a long shot or a wide shot. These images may not provide much detail about the subject of your story, but they will give audiences a sense of place for where the story is occurring. The second type of shot is the mid-range or medium shot. This gets closer to the subject while still providing some context for the setting. The final type of shot is the close-up. Close-ups tend to be the most visually interesting as they offer more detail or emotion because of how close they bring viewers to the subject. Of course, when an image is published, you often see it accompanied by a cut line or caption. This is the short bit of copy near the image which tells us something about it. You don't want the cut lines to describe the image the audiences are seeing. For instance, they can see that the image is of a colorful bird resting on a tree. Rather, you want the cut line to give the audience pertinent information about the subject. What is it? What is its relationship to the story? Who is in the image? Where is it happening? Those are the types of things that a cut line should address. So that's all for this week's crash course in photojournalism. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time.